wedding. Super fun. Unfortunately, as we're getting ready for the wedding, we discovered that Pico, Taro's, or Chorus's necrosis is getting worse. Alabek Mensej had a look at the necrosis and determines that the more people who are infected by this, the worse the outbreak is going to be in terms of the severity of symptoms. So we were like, oh, maybe we should find out more about the whole outbreak issue. The issue that we are having currently, though, is that the person who created the outbreak, Karul, has had his memory wiped. So we're going to go to his house and ransack his office and see if we can find anything. Maybe chat to him and Jeoral, see if we can get any information out of them. An attempt will be made because he probably has the information we need. We speak to Jeoral. Jeoral is currently in the Underdark trying to find his son. It doesn't sound like it's going very well. Anyway, there's some cool magical hijinks. Thea helps Alabek with healing Horus, and then we have a long rest. The next day is the wedding. It is a lovely sunset wedding, and there are beautiful moments between all of the characters and the NPCs. Loran's parents come to the wedding, which is really cool. And in the after party, this is a completely random note that I just thought it was really funny. Ulster encourages Ishan to give Alabek a kiss.
Yeah.
Which is what I think he deserves.
It is true.
Lucas hooks up with Sleia. Just saying. And then Lucas also hooks up with someone else afterwards because he's a slut.
He is indeed.
And we level up at the end of the game as everyone goes to sleep / passes out drunk on the deck after the wedding. That is my recap.
Indeed, it is. And if anybody, Anna, did you have something you wanted to add?
Please add.
Oh no, sorry. I cannot sort of. Sleia manages to pocket a solidified shard of their magic.
Yeah.
From the sort of attempt to heal Pikotaro from by Alabek with a bit of Sleia's magic.
Indeed.
Which looks a bit like an opal.
Yes.
That was a cool thing. I'll say Bluey, slightly prepared, gave a bit of a kick-ass.
She did give a kick-ass wedding. I'll tell you that.
There was some great emceeing and some
consenting adult humans.
They were good to consent. Yeah,
that's what the spell says.
I love it. Indeed. Yeah. Fabulous. Okay, so
yeah, you guys have. Is it +2 to AC when you're within 30 feet of each other?
Yes.
You've got that now.
We have what?
That's what the wedding.
What is it again?
+2 to AC when you're within 30 feet of each other.
Always.
For the next 7 days.
7 days.
I was going to say that's always. They're always within 30 feet of each other.
Oh right, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
What if we just get married every single week?
Then there you go.
You can't. The spell. I mean, someone else could. No, actually,
we should all just marry each other to get +2 to AC.
That would actually be really. Imagine if you being absolutely pummeled in a fight, and you were like, "Right, I need to increase my AC somehow immediately."
Marriage. Everyone gets married before the boss fight.
Wait, Anna, how long does it take to cast?
An hour.
An hour?
It takes an hour, but...
Imagine if you're like, I need to beat this guy no matter what. By the way, marriage, it'll help me win.
Just for the fight?
It'll help me win.
Marriage. A creature can benefit from this right again only if widowed.
What about
so you can...
The marriage is a sport.
I guess not. It's...
they have to die.
You can marry together as many humanoids that you can touch, but you can't like do two and then do the one and another or something.
Guys, we should have
like
all
that.
gotten
that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's really funny.
Sarah's looking at this like, I might just strategically get married to someone right now. Looks around, who would be good? Kev jumping in the background. Oh, I can't see anyone. Can't see anyone. I can't see someone who would be a good partner. No. Play! To be fair, if he had to pick someone right this moment as like a friend marriage, he probably would actually pick Bluey because they've spent the most time together, if you've noticed, over the last
yeah, as a friend marriage.
Unfortunately, you don't have the necessary appendages for Sarasa, but in all other respects, you are a good friend.
Bluey's not a twink.
Well, I'm not gonna cast aspersions.
I'm gonna call Sarasa out.
If anything, she'd be closer to a twunk, but anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Bluey is a full-on hunk, let's just say that.
A hunk. A hunk of blue?
Yeah, hunkier than Sarasa even.
I wonder if I should take this to work tomorrow and read it. No. I shouldn't do that. Okay. Are we ready?
The BL challenge.
Yes.
I did the BL challenge on ultra hard mode the other day. What was I doing again? I can't remember.
You were writing.
I was writing smut on the train with Lily to Edinburgh because we went to Scotland for a few days. And it was like the ultra hard mode.
Risky.
Yeah.
Anyway. I was like, oh, nice.
Aylin, do you have anything you want to add before we start the game?
No, I was just lost in the thoughts about what makes it ultra hard mode, but
what makes writing porn between two gay fantasy magic boys on a train makes it ultra hard? That's what makes it ultra hard. That's a funny joke. Do you get it? Because it's like ultra hard, but it's like, okay, I need to stop now.
Sorry, I'm wheezing. The camera just
What would
won't
your
pick it
version of
up.
ultra hard mode then be, Aylin?
Watching the
Watching hyperventilation, the penetration moment.
I had zero thoughts. That was why I was asking the question.
I think drawing BL would be
More
difficult because with writing, someone actively has to really pay attention to what you're doing.
Whereas,
but if you're drawing, people are just like, oh.
Could you imagine if I just whipped out cock and balls on my Procreate app in the middle of a train?
It's like, don't worry, I just need references.
Getting fucking oh my god, this is what happens. It's like, I can't get this pose. Pornhub.com. Scroll down to this, find the perfect reference video.
You just exposed so much about yourself.
I've actually never visited Pornhub.
I don't believe you.
Excuse me, Tumblr 2018 was a very different place. We're recording, so
I don't believe you.
Anyway, we are now going to play D&D. Is everybody happy with that? Okay.
I'm really happy to leave the porn club conversation.
Porn club.
Lily likes porn clubs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love the polyamorous recreational.
Which contains two sets of siblings.
But they're not in the same club, okay?
But they're not in the same club.
It's recreational. They go abseiling together. Okay. Let's go.
Is a group abseiling trip for a polycule a date?
Not if it wasn't explicitly established to be a date.
Okay, so you guys all have a long rest.
Yep.
The wedding happened. Celebrations, drinking, everything you'd expect. Music, fireworks of Laurent's own creation. And then a well-earned collapse into a hammock or two. Most of us alone, some of us accompanied. Who knows?
Imagine if Ulster was unaccompanied.
Unaccompanied.
I'm sleeping by myself.
Mm-hmm. And I can happily say that there are no sinister occurrences.
Yes!
You guys are able to have a long rest uninterrupted. But I will say that most of you are woken rather early.
He's bombing the ship.
No, you hear a whistle. And it's actually not. It's actually not a projectile. It is instead Volmy, just Iron Manning towards the boat through the sky.
Oh no, it is certain doom.
He wrapped himself in a magic carpet specifically so he could get there as fast as possible. No. I think that you guys would be awoken by the sounds of the ship being pulled up from anchor, and the sort of lurch that comes with that as it sets sail again. Blinking your sleep away. Also, you probably will get all this information, so I'll start with the others. You kind of sit up groggily, and you can see the hammocks that are usually occupied by the normal crew, who are hired from port to port, are empty, and they are moving on, drawing you guys actually away from a prayer. You can see the sort of horizon, and you see the country, the coastline disappearing, getting smaller and smaller.
Goodbye, coast.
As you guys pull into the Leith Sea. The Leith Sea is the ocean which sits between the two continents which home Aprea and, of course, Kalkan. And it's Loran's ship. So you get the impression that Kalkan is not an uncommon destination for it. Also, when you kind of feel this and wake up, you kind of turn groggily, and Loran is beside you. He's completely unaffected, fully asleep. But you can also see through the kind of back of the captain's quarters. There is a glass set of windows which look out onto the back of the ship.
I'm gonna run to the balcony.
You run to the balcony, throw open the windows, and you hear the rush of water and wind, the spray of salt, and the sounds of movement from top deck as you are being whisked away to.
Are we dragging the other boats with us?
You are. Those have been sort of risen up to the sides.
Yeah.
It's a large enough boat that it would do that, and none of the ships are so large that it would be problematic. In fact, if you're kind of breathing in the sea air, wearing your your night robe, your hair kind of whipped around you, you hear a "Watcher!" And if you look up, you see leaning over from the top deck, waving down at you, Lucas. Lucas is up there.
Is anyone else with Lucas?
Let me have a think. Lucas is probably with Kev and Saraza. They think they would be.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Good to know.
I think considering that Kev is from the Maasai, he would radiate to him, and then Saraza seems to be quite a morning person. Having Bluey, you would know this obviously, having done many a drill in the morning with you in the Feywild. And Kev kind of smiles, but Saraza just gives you a light wave, but doesn't pry, pulls away from the edge. Lucas seems to be the one who has noticed you first. And that is how you start your day. Eventually, one by one, you can all pull yourselves from your cots, your beds, and make your way to grab some grub. Loran assumes a kind of more seaworthy jacket, and as he sort of strolls through the ship, he has the air of a captain about him now as the boat is moving, and it's a rare sight. It's one you remember from 2 weeks ago when he picked you up for the first time, but it's not one that you've seen whilst he's been on land.
Can I follow behind him, and every time he gives instructions, also just kind of mimicking his actions behind him?
Mm-hmm.
Also the
darling, darling, I'm not quite sure it works like that. You could be part of the crew if you liked.
I thought we were co-captain now.
What are
yours? What's yours is mine.
All right, and he sort of leans against the wall. I'll consider your application for co-captain, but first I have a couple of things I would like to ask of you. Number one, what is your experience with boats, darling?
I can make a boat out of paper.
Fabulous. And do you get seasick at all?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Mm.
Right. Point to starboard and point to port.
Points left and right.
That was luck. Ulster, I
Completely agree. He takes a little hat and puts on his head. He's made it out of paper.
so true. Crow's nest. Let's go. Okay. He doesn't know this yet, but I've set him up there so that he won't give orders to anyone.
Also, he looks like he's just playing. He doesn't actually want to give orders to anyone. He's like, okay, I'm captain.
You now have your own little paper captain hat, and Loran wipes a signature on it so that it's got some authority.
Sword as well. He's like, pirate.
When did you learn origami?
I had a lot of time alone with my Daniel.
Fair enough. All gathered together around a pot of soup and crusty bread rolls that are nicely, freshly warmed and oozing with butter. Loran kind of sits forward and just says...
Am I in the crow's nest or can I come down?
Who is mostly... you guys can all go up to the crow's nest if you want to.
No.
Okay. It's very cramped up here. It's very cramped up here. I think Loran...
Captain is...
Right, so it'll just be the four of us then. I was kind of considering bringing everybody else in on this conversation, but maybe it's better this way. So we're going to go to a shissel, correct? Mm-hmm. All right. And now, just because I've had my memories wiped, do humour me and explain again. Karul. Now, yes. I know... somewhat.
Also finds his picture and holds it up. Cool.
Yes. I know somewhat of this situation. We met him. I didn't like him. Yeah. He seemed like a right ass and tried to kidnap you.
Correct. Yes.
In fact, almost basically succeeded in the kidnapping.
He did
didn't he?
Quite well with that.
Yes. Well, okay. So, just checking.
But I got away.
You got away.
Got better.
Just checking. Who's comfortable abandoning a prayer and moving on from this country?
No. We're going to Shissel to get information to help the prayer.
I'm just putting it out there in case it's an option.
No.
No?
Are you
no?
Slia kind of raises her hand a little bit.
Okay.
What?
I have a feeling Bluey's got something to say, so let's just yes, Sparks.
Well, are you not feeling hopeful about us being able to help further?
We can definitely help further.
I think
I would want to help further.
Slia, Loran gives you a kind of side look and just says, usually, and I'm going to be very honest here, darling, this is the part where I bow out. I
can't bow out now. So points to his ring.
Not for you, no. I mean, see, I've done what Ulster came here to do. I'm not saying I'm not going to do what you need or request from me. By any means, Sparks, you are a good friend. But I am sensing from the gauntlet and from what I've seen that things are going to get quite dangerous. And I would prefer to minimize risk where possible. So I'm just putting it out there. Does anyone feel like they aren't able to continue this? No, I'm going to put my hand down because I think I'm setting a bad example.
You can... I think this would be good to know, right? So if you want to put your hand up, then you should put your hand up.
I mean,
I don't want to...
good, bad, it's very... what's the word? Arbitrary?
Yes. Loran looks a little unsure. Sparks, Your order seems to be in quite some disarray. And I'm not saying we should give up. I'm just wondering whether it might be worth just taking a step back. Perhaps enlisting more help from other sources. And they can be on the front lines and we can support them.
It's not going to be a war.
Well, Ulster, I don't know if you've noticed, it is quite if Pico Taro's infection is getting worse, I do worry that everything is going to get worse.
Well, then we've removed Pico Taro from prayer. See if that helps. But we can't abandon a prayer because if one country falls, there's a knock-on effect.
But a prayer... No, I'm not going to say that out loud.
Go on.
I mean, a prayer is an island. It's not... It'll take time.
But it will happen. Faster than you think, probably.
I have a question for DM Emma.
Emily.
When Loran was referring to your order, was he referring to is this Warrenberg? Is this
He was referring to clerics and paladins in general, kind of in the Apraean kind of general. As you know, they've been very much busy is the right word.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm regretting bringing this up. I can tell.
Sorry, another question for DM Emma. I am immune to disease.
Okay.
From like a paladin thing. Did we establish in game, or do I know as Bluey Sparks that I'm immune to the disease, or did we establish already?
You would need. I mean, look, from a player, you can choose whether or not this is something you could discover about your character, or whether or not this is something you have learned already about your character. So it could be that, for example, you have been diseased in the past and it was suddenly cured, and you asked a fellow paladin and they said that's just something that happens once you have a certain amount of faith.
We also don't know if this is a purely magical disease, or if it creates natural disease effects, or it's something entirely different.
So you can decide. If you wish to test it on yourself, then that's a character choice. And I can't influence you either way.
I think I'd want to test it, but if I did have some sort of inclination that that's the case, that I might not be affected by the curse, essentially, which seems like a disease, then I think I'd want to get in there. But like, obviously that's not the case for everyone else in this crow's nest.
Sure.
So
we could get information about the specific effects from Karul's study, probably.
Yeah. At which point, kind of Loran jumps in and just says, "Look, I'm regretting bringing up the running away aspect at all."
You don't run away.
Right.
Well, unless we absolutely have to.
Good advice. I'm sorry, Sparks. It's inappropriate. I know that all of you have family in a prayer, so I won't bring it up again. I just wanted to give us one last chance to bow out. I don't think anybody else was going to put it forward. Regardless, you're right. We'll find something in a chisel. Hopefully in Karul's study.
Or in Karul's head.
Indeed.
Ren, I
Sparks,
don't necessarily think it's inappropriate. Maybe Oh no, we've had plenty of moments to consider danger, but I think it's still, a good idea to be reminded of what's at stake for, well, a prayer, but also ourselves, I guess. That's, you've got to...
Loran nods. That is what I'm considering. I feel like I've been given a new lease, somewhat, on life. And things are getting better. Mostly getting better when it comes to my love life.
Are you feeling a bit more magically protected, perhaps?
Perhaps. Oh yes, indeed. He gives you a nudge nudge and a wink wink. But I've never felt this stable with another person in my life. So congrats, Ulster. You've done the impossible.
We should be saying that to the both of you.
But you've stuck by me in something that was quite difficult, and not something that I wanted necessarily to put on display for my friends to see. And honestly, the fact that you are still here sitting eating soup with me in a crow's nest gives me the impression that, yes, it was inappropriate to say that. And I'm sorry, Sparks. I'll support you. But if I see a magic missile coming my way, look, you have to understand, these V-necks are there's nothing. I'm getting nothing. Compared to your scale mail. I'm going to bounce, and I'm going to take Ulster with me. Yeah, that's so true, Ulster. You're so smart.
What, really?
Another...
Like, I'm just wondering if you couldn't outrun one,
I am probably the fastest person here, whilst Ulster's not in wild shape, and I really don't want to try it.
Do you have to be strong to run fast?
No, you have to be quick.
You either have to be so strong, or be strong enough in the parts and then very, very light on everywhere else.
It's a Tao Shiri
We
thing.
should make Loran and Sarza race.
That's a very good point.
Whoever wins gets this hat. He points to his paper hat.
I'll be right back. Loran starts climbing down the rigging. You see him go down over to Sarza. There's like a brief conversation. He's like, and Loran's like, come on.
I want to judge this. Ulster runs down.
They go to the edge of the boat. 3-point stance.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
You shoot a magic missile into the air to silence off the race.
You have to roll to see who.
There is a sprint. Oh, that's shit. It's Loran. Because Sarah's got a 2. And Loran got a 16.
Sarah slips in a puddle of alcohol.
Sarah starts running really fast, slips in a puddle of alcohol and gets caught in Kev's arms and smushes him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, poor Kev.
Loran does not care. He's like, fuck you, and keeps going.
That wasn't a really fair fight.
It was fair. I didn't trip. There's plenty of alcohol around. Taps the edge. A seagull falls dead. It's been hit by a magic missile.
Well, at least we got entertainment on the trip to Shissel then.
You hear a sudden roar as a creature bursts from the waters and Shu dives for the seagull,
Oh, wow.
swallows it whole, and then flies,
Darling,
taking off
what
from
if
the
it had
ship.
worms? Should have let me check.
She's gone. She's mermaided back into the sea. Regardless,
This is how we pass our trip.
this is how you pass your trip.
Also runs various races and athletics things for you guys.
Loran
And quizzes.
allows
Obviously.
this, and throughout the day, as time passes on and people awaken. Hi, Baz. Baz, can I have a cuddle? Do you want to come say hi?
So I don't know. So I know if I want to say hi. Oh,
You want to say hi? You want to go eat a seagull?
he's so big.
He's massive.
Big.
Oh, baby.
Can I have a cuddle?
Wait, I've only just got it.
Bing.
Look at his checkerboard forehead. One check, right check, right check, right check.
Yeah.
Can I cuddle?
Hey, baby.
My cat.
Big.
Oh, hi.
Oh my god.
What the f- What? Are
Terrified
you
that.
okay?
That absolutely scared the shit out of
Scared the
him.
shit out of me. What the fuck was that? Oh,
Oh,
you're bleeding.
Yeah.
oh no.
Do we need to take
Oh.
a break so you can get like a plaster?
It's okay. It's only a tiny bit of blood.
Tis but a flesh wound. I'm just putting Shelian back in his.
How did that happen?
I've no idea.
Sorry.
I have a little
What's
like
the
pin
footage
badge
back?
thing. It must have been something to do with banners when I moved,
You must have dodged the desk.
because that's never fallen.
Oh.
Right. Okay, we're all fine.
Wow, you have a shadow.
Why does he look like that? You're so funny. Anyway, as you guys pass the morning, you get you hear coming up to you from across the deck, sets of heels, and turning around you see Zarina and Leander, both of whom look well rested and rather happy.
Are you ready to play games?
Darling, we're leaving.
Oh, there are so many more games.
I know, and I'm sure they were absolutely wonderful, darling, but no, we have to go. But I just wanted to say welcome to the family.
Thank you.
I heard you're a Dehane now.
Oh, yes, if that's okay. If not, I could just be Ulster.
No, darling, you can't be Ulster because I'm Zarina. Only one of us gets to have just the title.
You know, I don't know if there's any other Ulsters, but there might be another Zarina one day.
Ooh, you know about our traditions?
I do.
Very good. Very good. May I give you a hug?
Can I clarify? So is Ulster now just Ulster Dehane?
Also
Yeah.
Dehane.
Very good.
She'll pull you in for a hug and give you a kiss on the forehead. And she'll say, "You're my favourite son," and step back. Leander comes up and is like, "I'm bleeding a lot or bleeding?
Bleeding enough.
Enough. Okay, Lily is going to go get a plaster. Should we take a 5-minute break?"
That
Sounds
sounds
good.
good.
Okay, alrighty. So we're back in for a hug. Ulster and just says, "Welcome to the family." I don't usually give hugs, but I'm feeling rather jovial today, so
I
I'm going
switch
to
him.
give you a... Yeah, that's what I thought.
I try to pick him up. Is he heavy?
Yeah. I mean, he's about as tall. He's just a little bit shorter than Zara's,
I'm going to try.
and a bit softer around the middle.
15!
If you were into granddaddies, he would probably be your type.
15.
But at the moment, no. 15. You managed to lift his heels off the floor.
Whee! I
So,
give him a little shake.
Very good. Too old for this, Ulster. However, I
That old. Younger than my dad, probably.
What?
Anyway, moving swiftly on. I'd love to meet your father someday. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure you don't actually want to meet him at all. He could be very angry.
what is and he's? I heard he was a spitting image of yourself.
Maybe if I was really angry and a bit taller and my hair was
Human.
Yes, and if I was a human.
Then he can't possibly be older than me.
No, you're so right. Yeah.
My son is 200 years old.
That also explains why he looks in his mid-30s. You know, there's so many mysteries in this eye. My father's one of them.
Indeed.
Like a
Well-
giant.
Lala is sitting on...
Some people say that he sat on the ice for so long it froze him.
Do you say that?
I think you should talk to Alabek someday, because he probably knows more about it than I do.
Indeed. I actually did have a lengthy discussion with him. But he seemed rather occupied by the prince's condition below deck. He's doing well, don't worry.
I'll check on them in a bit.
Oh, I'm sure. He's still there, I think. I'm checking him over. I feel like he seems to have taken quite a responsibility for him.
Oh, he likes taking responsibility.
I can imagine. I'm also really very much value that characteristic, and I see it in you as well. Very good.
Take responsibility for your son.
Very good. I expect you to. Something I've been trying to get to for the last 5 minutes in this conversation, very quickly, is whilst all of you are, in your own way, incredibly powerful, or on the way to being, a wedding is a time for celebration, and celebration for me always comes with a little reward or a gift of such. And what better time to give you a gift than to give you a wedding ring?
A ring. Wow. Didn't know you felt that way, Leanne. Okay.
A ring doorbell. No, the cops are looking. Sorry.
Well,
sorry, guys.
I'm not going to give you anything too outrageous, but perhaps
be outrageous. Give me something crazy.
I have something for each of you.
They didn't get married or stamp his foot.
Well, yours is. You already got my son, so congratulations.
I'm joking. Oh my gosh, do you know? I need to put a humour indicator, don't I?
Yes, indeed.
Funny. Me. Laugh. I poke his ribs.
Right. Okay. So he turns to you first, Sparks, and says, for you, just seeing as maneuverability may be useful. Yeah, and he will pass you something called the Ring of Evasion, which is quite a sorry?
Core had that.
Do you want to mute for a second? Oh, I'm
Alan, did Allstate get a gift from Leander and Zarina, or did I just imagine that?
I'm just complaining about someone who we all know, so I
right.
can't do it on the thing.
No.
So, Ring of Evasion, there you go. Puts it in your hand. It'll resize automatically. It's got a little bird on it.
Cute.
I fancy it looks a bit like a dragon.
It's like a bird.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Yes, I've now got 2 rings that are strictly just magical and not,
That's how many Baldur's Gate lets you have.
That's how many Baldur's Gate you have.
Oh, okay. Is there room left for a romantic one? Or a friendship ring?
Wooden bond rings, but the background behind them is a little bit sus.
Oh.
I modded my game yesterday to get the polyamory mod. I'm gonna date everyone.
Very good.
Nice.
Very good.
Body.
For Loran, my son, my darling boy. No, he goes, Father! No, he doesn't. It's like, right, okay, we're barely repairing this, so just give me the gift. And he says, Ring of Puzzler's Wit. Intelligence is your greatest weapon.
Such a big struggle to get him.
Intelligence is your greatest weapon, and I wish you to use it as best you can. And Loran puts it on. And for this, it's when you make an intelligence check, you can use a charge to grant advantage on such a check.
That's useful.
It is useful. Doobie doobie dee.
Look at this majestic creature.
Yeah. Something's happened here.
Oh, you didn't like the noise. Didn't like the noise. you like it?
I can't promise Ulster that this will ever become useful to you,
Well, I get something.
of course. But we are on a ship and you're going to a coastal location.
So,
You ever considered walking on water?
oh, did you choose that specifically for me?
Well, I just wanted something elemental.
Oh, it just seemed like you chose things specifically for them, but then for me, you're like, oh, I'll give them that one.
Do you not enjoy water?
Not really.
Would you prefer... No, you're getting your gift. Just take the gift. Okay, I won't give it to you then. In fact, I'm not going to give anybody else anything. Goodbye. You'll
This
leave.
wasn't on the registry.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
come back me for your ring if you want it.
I'll take it.
I don't want to give it to you now, Ulster. Make a persuasion check.
You're good
What happens when you be a little bitch? If you want Sleer to get their ring, you're going to have to make a nice little check there.
7.
Tell me, what do you say? What does a 7 do?
Well, I don't think that's very nice.
Oh, I don't think that's very nice. Well, guess what? Actually, I've been very kind. I've been very helpful.
Serena Leander's bullying me.
I know, it's really funny. Please keep going.
Goes to Loran, he's bullying me.
Loran, a cool ring.
I didn't get a cool ring.
You could get a cool ring.
My ring's not very cool.
Sleer! For you, the ring of shooting stars.
I want a cool ring. I don't want a shitty water walking ring.
You open this beautiful, geode, marvelous, diamond-encrusted ring box, which is just inscribed in astral languages with the name Sleer. You open it and angels sing, and there's a beautiful silver. No. Leander says, no, it is genuinely this ring, but I don't see what you take issue with.
Seems like you put a lot of thought into other people's rings. Seems like my ring was not well thought out, which means you hate me.
Well, you guys can swap amongst yourselves if you want.
Okay, look, I have a question for DM. Does Ring of Water Walking make it maybe easier to walk on ice?
I cannot give him the Ring of Winter.
Why?
Because it's an artifact. It's not an item you can give. But I need to actually ask. Right, okay. Can I please ask the group, does everyone give me permission to change the ring that Ulster gets?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yes.
Fabulous. Band of Loyalty. If you're reduced to 0 hit points while attuned to the Band of Loyalty, you instantly die.
What?
I just clicked on it, and that's the first thing.
But I don't want a ring. Also,
I'm
genuinely,
joking.
like, I don't want one then.
No. That was a joke. That was a joke. Do you know this ring? I clicked on it because I thought, when I was looking at them earlier, I was like, that must be something really interesting
That's
for
horrible.
you could give to a loved one. Why is it called the Band of Loyalty?
Jesus. Yeah, that's a horrible name for that.
Yeah,
that's a horrible
exactly.
ring.
Right.
No death saves for you.
Does Leander just have his ring box, his confiscated
You guys were literally in his office and you looked at all these rings.
I think we have some of these. We had the Ring of Water. I think also actually has it, Emma. Hold on.
Did I already give it to you?
I think you've already given it to him, and I remember him saying it was a shitty ring.
Okay, I must have looked at some old notes.
Yes, I'm sorry. I think I also remember that.
I think he already has it.
Fucking hell,
Someone
I knew
also
it.
already has the ring of X-ray vision.
That's Sleer.
Yeah, someone has that.
No, I think that Sleia let Ulster have it, or yeah.
I'll tell you what has. Yes, he already has
Right,
it.
okay, here's what I do. I have an inventory for some of the characters, okay?
Like,
And it's a list. And if I don't make a little note that says Ulster has this next to it, I'm thinking, that's a great little gift for Ulster. That's a great little gift for Sleia. Okay, great. Never mind. No rings. You know what? Leander comes up to you and says, you get the ring of evasion, and passes it over to you. And then he goes over to everyone else and says, you guys can choose an item that you wish to have from this list of items that I will give you later once I look through everything and change everything. And Bluey, if you don't want the ring of evasion, you just tell me as the DM and I will give you something else. Right,
I'm happy
we're skipping
with
over
the ring
gifts.
of evasion.
I can find
gift-
something. Do you want me to find something different? Now?
No.
Guys, can I just have a couple minutes so I can find some new stuff for you all?
Yes.
I'm perfectly happy, but also feel free to take whatever time you need. I will pause the thing.
Leander comes up to you, and after offering a ring to Sparks, turns to you and says, I have also procured a gift for you. A gift which I think is well considered and very thought out, and is in tune with your character as I know it so far. The way you handled the hag in the Feywild, the way you spoke to Juniper especially, gave me inspiration to choose this. And he passes over to you what looks like a fist-sized charm made of a bundle of dried plant stems wrapped with silver thread. And he says, here.
What?
A charm of plant command.
What does it do?
I'm scared to tell you.
What does it do?
This charm has... Hi, Lala. Hi, darling. This charm has 3 charges. While you bear the charm, you can expend 1 charge as an action to cast the spell. Speak with plants.
I can already do that, Emma.
Wait! For the duration of the spell, you also have advantage on charisma checks made to influence the behavior, demeanor, and attitude of plants.
That's so
So not only can you cast Speak with Plants, you're also a plant savant now.
cool. Thank you.
How long does Speak with Plants last for? Or how long does the child?
Does this only have 3 charms in its entire lifetime?
No, they regain at dawn each day.
That's so funny.
You can speak to plants forever now and always be happy and never use a fucking spell slot.
Wait, I can't find
You
it.
could do it at the start of the day and then, like, have
And then
it on.
always be able to
Can you
posture
send
around
that to
plants. Yeah.
No, I genuinely think that's really funny.
Good. I'm anxious. I'm anxious about your gift.
Yeah, a lot of people are anxious about giving me gifts.
I wonder why. Can't imagine a single reason.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anna, do you remember when at one of my birthdays, I will not name the person, but someone gave me a One Piece related thing, and I already had it. So the first thing I said was, "Oh, that's great. You know me so well. I already have this." In the most autistic moment.
I don't remember that.
They were really upset.
Oh.
I realise this. I can't give you the Ring of Shooting Stars because it's too high of a rarity. But I've chosen something else that I think
How can I find the Charm of Plant command?
maybe because it's too cool. It only shows itself to certified cool guys. This is Dungeons and Dragons. Is that okay, Aelin? I just wanted to let you know. But I have chosen something else. Can I please tell you about it?
Sure. Awesome.
Okay.
All good.
He'll turn to you And he will say, now, in all honesty, I had wanted to give you clothes of mending because you seem to be a wonderful seamstress. But that seemed silly because it has no actual fun capacity in terms of spells. So I've picked something else for you. He pulls out a cloak, which appears to be made of like a long kind of glittering leather, and ends in like a scalloped hem, an inverted sort of scalloped hem, and just passes it over to you, and just says, this is something that I confiscated off of a strange, strange man in a strange castle very long ago. But I have it now, and it is mine, and I'm choosing to give it to you. And like I said, please feel free to pass these around your party if you feel you have no use of them. Looking at Ulster. But if you wish to keep these items, I have, like I said, procured 4 in hopes that all of you will be able to enjoy at least one of them.
I've grown some bushes, and I'm using the charm to make them sway.
It's like, right, good. Okay.
I can make Sarah's an even bigger cacti now.
Very good. Leander passes you the cloak of the bat, Astra. While wearing this cloak, you have advantage on stealth checks in areas of dim light or darkness. Oh wait, no, this is really good.
Yeah.
Damn it, this is too good. Why is everything Astra coded so good? I can't give you that. What the fuck?
No worries,
right.
No worries.
Hang on, they have to be at the same level.
You can tell that Emma really planned this.
Well, I did plan it, and then all of you hated it. You get the Cloak of Elvenkind, okay? Now we're done. He leaves. And then there's a teleportation, and he goes off.
What does that do?
Gives you advantage on stealth checks, is what I wanted to give Astra.
You just make up a ring that gives you advantage on stealth checks.
Why would I make up a ring?
I have the boots of Elvenkind, which do that.
I'm going to go kill myself now.
No, I was just gonna say that,
why don't you give Astra a ring that lets Astra immediately enter a library and know the exact section to go to for what they want?
Loran takes off his ring and gives it to Astra. Advantage on intelligence checks. Now this scene can end.
Astra
okay?
was just gonna
can we end it now?
Thank you. That was all.
Good. Everyone happy? Loran looks around. Everybody happy? Good. Right. Moving on. Go dance with your cacti, Ulster. Lala! Lala! Stop it!
I can speak to
Can you? I can speak to the DM now. She needs a hug.
Oh, do you want a hug?
Why don't you guys like my ideas?
Come on. Come here, darling.
Like, it is just an unfortunate circumstances.
Come here, darling.
Thank you.
You're not falling.
Thank you for the gifts.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
DM.
gifts are awesome.
They're so cool, Brewster.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
I love that.
I need to go back to DMing now. Okay, look, okay, guys, I wanted to spontaneously give you all some nice things, and all I've got back is sass. Okay? So what if I didn't plan that very well? I just looked at my character's inventory and went, these things would be nice for my lovely players.
They are really nice.
Good. I'm glad you
Does
like
Loran
Just
Loran get the cloak of Elvenkind?
Do you know what? Yeah,
he does.
He does. And he looks
Alright.
sick.
Okay.
Okay. Right. You guys go to a Shissel via teleportation circle eventually, but we actually have more stuff you have to do before you do that. Lots of people are leaving the boat.
Yeah.
That was just meant to be the first of a very quick montage of people. Leander and Zarina eventually teleport themselves away, saying goodbye to Loran. If you remember, 15 years ago, Loran gave you a very heartfelt thank you for sticking by him through this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We stick with him.
Yes, indeed. Next up on the departing list, Albek Mensej makes his way from below deck, helping Anna and Ender Ashun carry up Pikotaro. He can step. Excuse me.
Dorina and Men are going with him.
Yeah, they follow up behind. The Mensej, the Ashuns, and Chorus all come up the stairs. Chorus can support himself, but he's just he looks quite breathless, a little pale. And they set him down on the side, and Albek checks these comes with the others over to Uwalster. Anna and Ender say, Ender, I think, says, I think we'll stay here if that's all right until you come back, because I would really want to be able to take part in whatever information you find, delving into that, and figuring out how we can help next.
I think, actually, you should just take a really long holiday.
What?
And not get involved with any of this.
Why?
I think also, if you ever hear about your father, you should just go the other way. Anyone who's talking about it, just turn around and leave.
But my papa's dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, isn't it, how death sometimes isn't permanent. You should go.
You mean my dad's alive?
No, he's dead.
But it sounded like you meant that my father was actually alive this whole time.
I think I should get you.
Do you know something?
A paid vacation to the spas of, what's that place called again?
With the wave.
Wow, I mean, I've always wanted to go there, but...
Yeah, I'll fund that for you. I think you should just go.
With what money?
With my money.
You look very wealthy now, but when we met, you looked rather...
Yeah, well, I'll give you a diamond. That should work, right? That should pay
right, for sure. But he looks to his mother, who's just standing there looking confused.
You want to go with him? I'll give you a diamond too.
Well, no,
You don't want to go to the spa?
I have a job and people to look after.
You don't need a job.
But I've signed up to join this very secretive organization now with Sobek and Sai, and I think it would be strange if I bowed out now.
Okay, you do that. Your son can go to the spa though.
But he doesn't like... But he's recovering from a really bad stint of athlete's foot, and if he goes to a spa without any flippers, he's gonna get...
Well, then give him Palilala.
Without any flippers?
Obviously.
But what if he has an asthma attack, and I'm not there to help him?
I have asthma, and I go about my business just fine.
Well, why don't you guys go together if you're such good friends?
I think he looks around. Kev, do you want to go to the spa?
Kev looks over. I actually kind of want to go home, actually.
But Kev, you could go to the spa with a friend and it would be a really good holiday team building experience for you.
So, you're with you?
No, with Ender.
He comes up quite close and asks you in massage, is this an order?
No, it's just, it might be fun.
I don't think it'll be fun, so I'm going to say no.
You don't want to go on vacation?
Not with Ender.
Why? Well, you liked Ender.
It's fine.
Kev, you never leave the Maasai.
No, but, I feel like I have a sudden strange urge to be on this ship, near this team, and...
No.
Working with you guys, and Loran, and Saraza.
Kev, what if I told you it was of the utmost importance that someone looked after Ender?
Maybe Saraza could come.
We need Saraza.
Fine, I'll go.
I'll put in a good word for you.
No, I'll go.
I'll give you 2 diamonds to get the extra spa package.
Can you just like, I know he's your cousin and I know he's not exactly a twink, but he's kind of a twunk. No, I'm joking. Keep Lucas away from him.
Keep Lucas away from you?
Saraza.
Oh, Saraza. Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Very good.
I can do
Very good.
that. Yeah.
Anna.
I would like to maybe, as this is going on, do a quick lay on hands to try and cure a disease for Pikotaro, and I think anyone else who's looking a bit weak, maybe up to 3 people, including Pikotaro.
Okay, if you're going for up to 3 people, if you were just looking broadly at this arrangement of this team, the people who would look the most sickly would probably be Pikotaro, Alabek, and Ulster. Just off of a quick glance. Ulster is just pale, but Alabek and Pico Taro. I mean, Alabek, you don't know. Maybe he's not well. Pico seems to be the one who's actually afflicted with any magical kind of disease.
Okay, I'll do Pico Taro, and then I might assess for a Prayan related.
Well, maybe
sickness.
then it would be best for you to do Ender and Anna because they seem to be the ones who are most fast and loose with the potion.
All right, I'll do 3 lay on hands. Just
Bum bum bum.
for your journey.
Thank you.
For your journey.
Thank you.
And for your journey.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Sparks. Okay, right. In all seriousness, Kev doesn't say that shit about Saraza. He does make a silly joke about Saraza. But he'll eventually give in and say, yes, Ulster, I will go with Ender. Is it chocolate that you've got?
Yeah.
Did you want to ask me if I wanted one?
Do you want me to go back down and get you some chocolate?
Yes, please. You didn't ask me if I wanted one, but I went to get you a plaster.
I'm bleeding.
Lou didn't get me chocolate, but now I'm going to get chocolate. Guys, I'm in a weird headspace now. So sorry if I'm a little bit everywhere all at once. But look at this cat.
Everything. Everywhere. Oh, yes. Of course.
The boy.
This is all he does, is whenever Lily gets up, he sits down back in Lily's seat.
It's nice and warm. It smells
It's
like
specifically Lily, though. There's something about Lily. He loves your seat.
I know he loves me.
Yeah.
Don't know why, I'm not very lovable.
Sit now so that we can continue your scenes and the scenes.
Lala, can you move?
Oh, jumpsuit baby.
Right.
Jumpsuit.
He smells so good.
He does smell good, doesn't he? Considering he's not a hypoallergenic cat.
Yeah. Sorry, Lala.
Cases.
You're just inhaling them. Off you go, darling.
Yeah.
Okay.
You saying
So, Ulster, just quickly to carry on. Lala, stop that. He wants to eat that plastic. To quickly just wrap up what Kev was saying. No, Kev doesn't say that thing about twinks and twunks. He does, however, give a bashful look over to Saraza and then go, all right, but just, if you're going to put in a good word for me, just make sure it's a genuinely nice, good word.
You're really good at throwing tea parties.
I need some more applicable skills. Right.
Tea parties are a very applicable skill.
planning?
Planning, cooking, taking everyone's allergens into account,
Hosting.
hosting.
Right, I'll go
Really, do you want to
host.
see little frilly boy? Always a good skill.
I will host a holiday for Ender.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Do you really not want to?
No. I like you more than I dislike the idea of going on holiday with him.
You'll have to stay in the same room.
No, we won't be. We'll have 2 rooms, and maybe we'll split a breakfast buffet because can't afford 2 people getting one breakfast buffet. So it would be improper to take the meal out of the breakfast room. So perhaps we should actually fork out for 2. And he starts thinking
You
out
plan
loud.
the holiday. You plan that, Kev.
Right. But the reason these people are on the deck at all is because the men's search party seem to be leaving, and Alabek, Mena, and Dorina kind of come to you all, with Alabek first, just sort of saying, "Congratulations, Ulster, and well done." Mena and Dorina have told me about everything that's passed in the gauntlet, and without you, all of you, I may not have had good
Cousins.
news to bring home to my family.
That too.
My mother's took the disappearance hard, and my my sister will be happy to have a cousin her age, I'm sure, in the family again.
That's really good. I mean, we've enjoyed their company.
I'm glad that somebody has.
And they helped save,
Oh, you mean Mena and
Save a
Dorina.
life.
Yes, they are wonderful.
Yes.
I thought you meant my mothers.
Oh no one enjoys their company.
Well,
Sorry.
lovely wedding. And Ulster, I was not here.
Oh, you don't want to? Okay.
But you feel free to write that letter.
I've already written it. He hands it over.
Ah, perfect. I will hold on to this. Thank you. Very good. Right.
I'll have to remove my name from the family registrar. So
well, we are the keepers of registries, so
maybe you could just when you get back, just white it out with paint.
I will, but I have a duty to notify your father.
Yeah, so you can notify him, and could you notify me when you notify him, so that I notify myself?
If I'm doing it when I get back, it will be within the day.
Cool. Okay. Well, Loran, we'll just prepare in a bomb shelter at the end of the day.
Right.
Karul's house should be a pretty good shelter, actually.
Quite. I do not know who Karul is. Wait, wasn't he your tutor growing up?
Mhm.
Oh, good to see you're still in touch. I'm sure he's Wait, hang on. And he has like a sort of moment of recalling like some family history and is like,
oh, interesting, isn't it? Small world.
yeah.
Okay. Not that I knew him when you knew him, but I think he's different now.
Yeah, he has terrible amnesia.
Okay. Right. Good luck.
He makes coffee.
It's lovely to see.
Makes coffee.
He makes wonderful coffee.
Well,
I'll tell him to send you some beans.
I'm more of a tea person, but when I do drink coffee, I do take it black. Thank you.
Thanks for looking after Chorus.
If your father disowns you, I will be certain to repatriotize you as a Message citizen.
Thank you.
When I am king.
Yes, it's appreciated. I mean, I already kind of disowned myself, so can't really disown me. I got the jump on him.
Regardless.
I appreciate the offer.
He knows.
He knows you have chocolate.
And Mena and Dorina step forward and give you each a hug, Ulster. And hug you both, Slia and Astra. And they say, excuse me, Sparks. The S's. Perhaps not on his side, but on our side of the... Perhaps not on his side, but on our side. Oh my god. On our side of the family, we've always seen our family as ourselves and those we choose. And as I said to Ulster, I will say to you, I choose you all. You've proven yourselves. And from listening to your stories and meeting your friends last night, I can certainly tell that each of you comes from a difficult family situation. And I want to say, if there is ever anything I can do, any assistance I can offer, whether that is as a parent, a parent or a friend or a support, I will offer it to you freely. Though perhaps, considering she's closer to your age, my daughter might be more suitable as a friend. And she smiles, and Mena says, well, hopefully I'm going to stay in touch with you all. Wonderful to meet you.
I fooled you, Baz. I fooled you.
If my fiancé will still have me, I'm going to go get married now.
Go get married.
It's all right.
Oh.
Do you know Nasha Taraj?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yes.
Thank you both. And thank you for helping us get out of the gauntlet, even as we were not clear up front of our
intentions or planned actions. Apologies for that. But
all things considered, this is Durina. All things considered, I think that it all went rather well. And like Alabek says, if your father catches wind, you can become an honorary mensage. I don't think anybody will say no to that.
thank you.
Big hugs! And she pulls you all in.
I'm really thinking about just going by Ulster. Legally Ulster to Hague, but just Ulster.
And the mensage group also leave. There are still a few, mostly Apraeans on the boats now.
He's like, get off me, mummy, I want chocolate. He's coming.
Yeah. Oh, actually, is Marlena? She would be here. Yes. And
Marlena would here.
Would have been living in a prayer. I would love to perhaps get a detect howdy doody detect poison and disease. I think. Do I have that prepared?
Sure, go for it.
I don't have that prepared.
Not only that, Marlena Winterbrand is from the north of Apraea.
There's a big energy up there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think...
started.
All right. I think maybe a bit strangely, like, before she's able to get any words in, like, I think Sparks would just go, sorry, I want to just heal you a bit. I'm not, no casting, no aspersions or whatever. I think being up north in the prayer is just a difficult time right now.
You find her with a, just kind of like reclining on one of the wooden benches by the edge of the boat, looking out to the ocean as the prayer disappears. And you just sort of come up behind her and she's like, how am I going to get home? Oh, hello.
Okay, I'm not an expert
healing.
I am an expert. Well, I'm good at healing. I'm not the expert, but I'm good at healing. I will have to talk to the experts in travel to work out.
Think out loud. Don't focus so much on it.
Here's some healing, and so trying to get to disease. Hopefully she feels better. I would invite her to sort of, come along to Ulster and Loran, who...
How am I going to get home?
Marlena wants to know how she's getting home to a prayer.
You cast the spell? What? You've cast the spell on her? Okay, just as you kind of cast it, she sort of says that again. And she kind of like coughs like and you notice there's like a little like kind of black, almost like a vein just by her mouth, which almost looks like a black drip, but it's like a worm. It slides back away.
Divine sense detects good and evil. Until the end of my turn, I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. I'm going to do one of those.
Okay, you get a hint of necrosis when you do that. Similar to what you got with Pikotaro. Only, of course, she doesn't have anything to protect her from it. And as she's kind of like confused and looking at you like, what on earth are you doing? How am I going to get home?
I'm very... can I have brought her... If I asked her to come with me, would she have come with me towards Ulster and Sleer?
She'll get up and she'll start walking, and then she'll stop and she'll be like, wait, where am I going?
Shit. No, guys, this is like the bodies, isn't it? She's not undead. This is me thinking. So sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start talking in Draconic. Wait, no, I'm gonna start talking. No, fuck. Can she understand Dwarvish?
No, not Dwarvish.
I'm gonna start talking in Draconic just to get Sleer's attention.
I don't like the sound of how have we said she's repeating phrases? She's not sure where she is. She's we've encountered this before, haven't we? To Sleia.
It does sound familiar, like a bit of that.
She herself is not undead, but I'm worried about her. What should we do?
I can't understand what you guys.
Perhaps we have a meeting with Crow's Nest meeting, I guess.
Crow's Nest meeting. Also, I will say, you may not understand what they're saying. You do, however, notice Marlena kind of just standing there, like looking around, like, and Bluey, like, kind of rushing off to Sleia.
Can I medicine check her?
Hi, Ulster.
Marlena. Can I medicine check her?
You go for it.
1 second, please.
I'm dead.
That is 18.
18, okay. With an 18, you notice as well the remnants of that kind of black, like kind of twinge at her lip. You kind of brush your thumb over there. You check the whites of her eyes. You check her pulse, her temperature. I did those in wrong order. And she has no signs of the undead.
Apart from a weird vein.
But she is showing some of the signs of that sickness that you've seen before.
We really need a cure for this.
Now, you know a couple of things of information which have been a bit far apart, so I'm just going to repeat them. You know that there was a whole shipment of potions from Sobek's shop in Ironstone, which were potentially tampered with by Big Ed. That's something you guys found out.
Yeah.
Marlon has been living in Ironstone. You know that the bodies, the undead specifically, are showing signs of like feigning life. And you have seen how occasionally this could affect a living person with protection, like in Chorus. But I think it's quite unusual for you guys, especially because you haven't gone through the gauntlet in this universe, to see someone who does not seem to be dead by any means, but is starting to succumb to this. This is a stage of this you haven't seen yet. Okay. She's certainly still alive, but she is not... Why is this happening? But she's not well.
Right, Marlena, just have a seat. I'm going to bring you some water.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
He looks at the group.
Shall we help get you water together?
Guys, look at Lala.
Can you see him?
Oh, hello. Oh.
That's all right.
He looks like he looks like the bow of ship. Is that the right word? Like he had his sort of like chest out, you know.
I know. He looks like
He's so odd.
Yeah.
You will find the most precarious places to perch. Lala, that's a terrible place to sit. You can't sit there.
You guys head up to the crow's nest. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. You guys head up to the crow's nest and perch all around there, squeezing on there again. Loran says, this is a terrible idea. I don't know why I suggested this. I spilled all of my soup down my shirt the other day. Right.
We need a cure.
Well, then we need to go to Karul's house now. Sleia, you're a cleric. What do you think?
I'm not exactly that kind of cleric. My domains are more like, the arcane and knowledge.
Smart people.
Nature and magic.
Right.
Right, so we need to go into Karul's office and ransack it. But we also need to consider the possibility that he has information somewhere in there that we need, which means, if possible, if we can get back in contact with our dragon friend, what did he do with Karul's brain cells?
Okay. We need to address these one at a time.
Mm.
Let's go to his house first.
Yeah.
By the way, Shu.
Yeah.
It's currently being sustained by my magical energy. I'm a bit kaput.
Oh.
So, if it comes to a fight, I can help.
I won't come to a fight because we're not going to. He won't fight us. What's he going to fight us over? Coffee?
Wasn't Jeoral being stabbed in the last time you spoke to him?
Jeoral, I know where his son is. He won't kill me.
Okay, let's go then. And do we want to bring Marlena to Karul to see if he can do anything to her?
At the very least, she shouldn't be spending more time in a prayer.
Okay, then yes, let's bring her.
Okay. You guys pile out of the crow's nest. Loran goes off to start painting out a teleportation circle. You go over to Marlena.
Going on holiday.
How am I getting home?
We're going on holiday, Marlena.
To a prayer?
No, you know how I said Kev and Ender are going to go to the spa? Well, we're going to a shissel for my honeymoon, and you're invited.
That seems really wrong to go on your honeymoon.
Oh, but they're all coming.
That'd be like if you guys came on my religious retreats with Bahamut.
I mean, if you would like to share.
That'd be
Absolutely not.
Oh.
I don't think my honeymoon is a religious retreat.
Yeah, but it's still intensely private, personal.
No, we're just going to go for like city walks and stuff. Beach swims.
You want to share your honeymoon with your cousin and your besties?
Now you're just making it weird. I'm just inviting you on holiday.
Okay, I'll go if you must.
I'm gonna tap Marlena on the back and be like, "It'll be fine. Don't worry." And whilst I do that, I'm gonna try casting Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just have a quick look at this restoration.
Touching a creature can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. I think I'd go one disease.
Okay, yes, we've done this before, I think, with Lesser Restoration. And I think it's shown signs of helping in the moment. It's not a long-term, I think we said this isn't a long-term solution, but it's good for now. So for the day, you get the feeling that as you kind of tap her back and you kind of like perk her up a bit, she lets out kind of like a sigh, and you see that blackness kind of quivering on the edge of her mouth and slowly just fading away. And she goes, anyone else got a weird cough? I thought I was seasick, but I've not thrown up at all. So maybe I'm not.
We've noticed it around a bit.
Alright, then I guess not a problem. Am I going on holiday then?
Yeah.
What do I need to pack?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No. Nothing.
For a holiday.
Well, you didn't really. What did you bring? Bring with you.
I brought.
What you brought to the ship.
Hang on, and she goes down to the ship, and it's hauled up along the side. She goes over, and you can kind of just literally see her. You're like, you guys like here. She's like here. She opens up a big crate on the ship, and she goes, I got 4 shields.
No, you don't need those.
Okay, I'll leave those. A trading sword.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. What about breastplate?
Just bring one set of armor and one of your favorite weapons and a bathing suit.
Okay, only bathing suit.
Yeah.
I do have a rush shirt if
No, the only bathing suit I've got is like full. You guys aren't gonna laugh at it, are you?
Why are you laughing at it?
She pulls out like a full wetsuit.
That's completely fine.
Yeah, that's great.
You sure?
Yeah. Bit of sun protection, that's, sensible.
I mean, Sarah's will be wearing a bikini, but you can wear that.
Okay. You hear Kev go, ah! in the corner. Sarah's wearing a bikini. I'm not gonna be there. It's fine.
Sarah's wearing a mankini, like, oh.
I need to make a Sarah's a dress-up dolly next.
You do. Right, we need to get to Ashisil.
Mm-hmm.
Such a lovely honeymoon set ahead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so off you guys go. You head off, and the teleportation circle is drawn. And as you begin to kind of make your way around the edges of the circle, Chorus kind of just calls out and just says, good luck out there. And thanks for inviting me to your wedding.
Great to have you. Hopefully we will have a cure when we come back.
Me too, I hope so.
Please jump. Like a little amulet thing.
Focus on a cure for her then, not for me. Yeah, focus on a cure for me. Am I sick?
Everyone's sick, technically, if you think about it.
Right, okay.
Everyone's made up of the bacteria inside our body.
A cure for seasickness though, right? Not anything serious.
Oh, yes. Yes. Really seasick.
Okay.
Off we go.
I'm confused. And then pshum, there's a rush of wind and light and magic. And bye. Bye. Kev and Anna, you guys are bringing Sarza?
Yeah.
Lucas, Chorus, and
Sarza can't get rid of us that easily.
Lucas and Chorus all wave you off with the rest of the crew behind them. Ishan, etc. Tashara, Darius, all these people who have names. And there's a sort of fan of light, and you feel your heels click onto solid ground as you find yourselves on a coastline, and not dissimilar to ones you've seen in the island off of Aprea.
We've already been to Ashisil to rescue Ulster from this exact place.
And you guys remember it very, very keenly. All things considered, having travelled here before, your guard is a little bit down. But coming now, you see the imposing kind of cliff sides. You see the home that's built into it that's visible only from within the boundaries of the rock. And you see on the distance, as it is there is a time difference, obviously, and it seems like you're arriving very early in the morning here, just breaking dawn.
He's an early riser. He'll be fine.
You guys see the lights of the city beginning to click on a light. And you guys are at the base of Karul Jeoral's house. I think it's appropriate to take a little break here so you guys can reset and head on over to
Coming to break?
the spot. Yeah, I'm going to make some notes today.
Alright.
Yeah, okay.
See you guys in 10 minutes.
See you in 10.
All right, thank you.
All right. So, as you guys feel the teleportation circle magic fade, you also feel the presence of other magic. Obviously, this is a very well protected area. So now that you're in, the only way out is teleportation. So Loran says, I could do that once more. Nobody get left behind. I'm sure they're going to be lovely.
Yeah.
Should we go in the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys obviously walk up this sort of small sand
I'm just going to send
beach
a little message to Jeoral as we go.
in the cove leading up to the front door. And what the front door is basically a roughly hewn rock of like stone that's been embedded into the side of the cliff, and you can discern it just.
Can I message Jeoral before we barge in?
You can. You guys head up the sort of like low stairs that lead up to the front door. Yeah.
We're here. Yes, we're going to come in, so don't kill us, please.
So you knock at the door?
Yeah.
There's a brief pause. And then the door is pushed open, and standing beyond it, just like their skin is usually like purplish blue. It's now just red with blood. You see Jeoral, and he says, "Why did you send a message if you're right outside?"
Just so you wouldn't stab us.
I'm obviously not going to stab you. Do I look like I'm going?
Yes, you're very stab happy.
Sorry. And he looks over at Sleer. Apologies for stabbing you before.
Sleer just shrugs.
I'm so glad that you've moved on. Come in.
Why are you covered in blood?
I went to the Underdark.
You haven't done a bath?
No.
Did you recently get back?
Yeah, I went yesterday. Stayed there overnight. I came back about 15 minutes ago.
You didn't have a shower
Okay.
or what?
No, I was adding to my map.
Oh.
All of this will make sense when we go upstairs.
Do you really want to have a shower before we sit down and talk? You're a bit gory.
I will have Karul clean me with magic. Showers waste time.
Right. Yes, definitely.
Indeed. Come on, go upstairs. And he leads you up. He looks a little anxious.
Yes.
And he smells strongly of metal. And Loran just takes a step forward and just, look, I'm going to do us all a favour. And does a little prestidigitation, and then blood just slowly disappears, leaving him looking freshly washed. He goes, thank you. Yes, it was agitating to feel the sensation of blood solidifying. You've come here to look at the study.
And talk to your partner. What is your relationship?
We are now engaged.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good. Yes. Thank you.
How did you manage that?
He doesn't know.
Oh,
That's not how
you
it
need
works.
you need all the adult humanoids to agree with that.
Yeah.
I understood. Okay, I'll talk to him. I've never been somewhere where marriage as an institution has been fully explained to me, but I understand that it is the epitome of what I want. So, with him.
What do you want with him?
I want my son back, first of all. And I want... Why would I tell you? And he keeps walking.
You know, because you don't have any friends and we're kind of the closest thing you have to a confidant.
I would like to live with him here. And for our relationship to be officially promised.
Nice.
Anyway, I'm done being vulnerable for the day.
That's understandable.
But thank you for your congratulations on our engagement, though. I think maybe we are almost engaged.
Yeah, I'll rescind that until you ask him, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He leads you upstairs. You guys know what this place looks like, but just in case you've forgotten, torches on the walls, heavy stonework, smooth floors, Japandi furniture, and it looks like once you get to the top level, you are sitting in a strange mix between a beautiful coastal retreat and a Japanese house. Low floor seats and low tables are scattered around. There are bookshelves that are just piled with very neat, orderly rows of books. It's a far cry from Loran's style in his shop. Everything is of a dark wood that is meticulously varnished and dusted, it seems. And as you enter into this sort of like reception area room, the first thing that strikes you, well, two things strike you at once, maybe. The first is this beautiful window that gives you a panoramic view of the ocean, facing away from the coastline of Ashissel. So it's just a vast expanse with a few of the rocks that kind of make up the surround of this island. And then also the smell of freshly ground coffee, which comes from the direction of the kitchen. And Jeoral kind of steps in and he says, "Shoes off." And he kicks his shoes off and then picks them up and like puts them in the right little order.
Do you have slippers?
Yes, obviously. I'm not a monster.
You have socks?
Why do you say it like that?
For no reason.
We do have socks. Would anybody like some?
Sure.
Okay.
I think Sparks is alright. I was about to say, is the
opens-
ground cold? But she's got that ring of warmth. So
Very good. He opens a small cupboard, and like hung up there, neatly pressed and ironed, are a few pairs of guest socks that have been kind of just like left on a hook. And he says, "Help yourself."
Thank you. Were these selected by Karul?
Yes.
Good taste. He really knows his socks.
can either Sparks as a character or me as a player get an inside check as to what's happening here?
Yeah, you can.
I'll try with Sparks first. That's a 13. What's going on?
With a 13,
Mm.
you're perplexed but made uncomfortable by Jeoral's expression at the mention of the word socks.
Ulster's making fun of them.
Also is making fun of them.
Why?
It is not a crime to want to have a dirt-free house.
No, it's that. It wasn't that was funny.
Yes, I am aware. I'm surprised that you know anything about it.
I know Karul very well.
Right. I don't think I actually want you to have any of the socks. And he closes it. You can just
I've
have
already put the
slippers.
socks on.
Fine, no slippers for you.
It's fine. I like to feel the ground.
You're making me uncomfortable.
I think Sparks will start to just walk. Yeah. Okay. I do. So returning here, I do like what you've done with the place.
This was going to be my prison forever. It's actually not a bad spot, but I don't think I'd like to stay here to the end of my days.
No, we would have put you in. We have some spots we had planned for you.
I know.
Would you like to see a photo of a portrait of my son?
Sure.
Wonderful. Just in case you were. Never mind. That ship has sailed. You're married now, aren't you?
What?
What?
You're married now, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes,
normal
I married.
It's a normal question to ask people.
Yes, I married them yesterday.
Very good. Well done.
Sorry, I was the officiant that married.
No, we're in a throuple.
I did not include myself in the spell,
Sarah says a recreational polycule.
and that was a guise. That was a guise, guys.
You guys
Don't worry.
walk in and you hear a voice say, "Whatever it is, it sounds god awful."
Hi, Karul.
Hello,
Hello.
Jeoral. And Jeoral says, "What? That is not a pair of guest socks." Okay, they're all blue. Who am I to say which are not the guest socks?
They are quite big.
Ulster looks like some kind of sock puppet with these massive socks on.
Sarah says, "Mine are actually quite small. Would you like to swap?"
Sure.
Okay, great. He starts taking them off, and Karul holds up his hand and says, "No." Oh my god! I just touched Lala's weird rib, and I thought it was his little paw,
Oh.
and so I was like holding it, like, where's his claw?
Lala has a rib that just sticks
I
out.
wonder if I can show you. Oh no!
Okay.
He doesn't want to show you. Okay, so if his body is like this, his weird rib is like this. Okay, and it sticks out. And
I think it's his sternum.
it is his sternum. And we
Yeah.
took him when we took him to the vet once. We said, "Any ideas?" And she was like, "Oh, that is weird."
That's just it.
And Lala also has a kinky tail, and he's also got a funny nose. So he's just a bit of a funny guy. Aren't you a funny guy? He shoved his face in my armpit, so yeah, he wants to eat, I think. Anyway, as you are swapping socks, Karul says, No. You need to give those to me now.
Why?
Because those are not guest socks, obviously.
I think I'll keep them, actually.
Where is your attitude from? Who taught you this?
You.
Oh. Ulster.
Mm.
Yes, I remember now. Okay, well, you can keep the socks, but I don't want them back.
Okay, fine. I wasn't going to give them back anyway.
Joel is seething and frothing at the mouth. Can we please stop talking about the socks now? God.
Also love that. Your son. Wait, hang on. Why did you mention? Do you? Was it clear that like he mentioned his son and then was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, never mind. You got married yesterday."
Yeah.
It's very clear what he meant by that.
Yes.
In
and
that,
also
like,
is displeased.
How's it been going?
Searching for my son.
Probably not very good.
Yes.
Well, we made an error,
and
actually,
yeah.
didn't we, Karul? Because what happened was he sent him away. And now that his memories are gone,
Just remember where.
doesn't remember where he is. It's funny.
Well, it's not funny for Valis, but
It's not funny for anyone, also. But we have to find joy somewhere. Don't we, Karul? And Karul's like, it's not a big deal. I will find him eventually.
well,
You're going down there basically every day. So, I mean, how much Underdark is there to check?
A lot.
A lot. Okay.
Right, Steer? There's a lot of Underdark.
I wouldn't.
You're a
know.
drow. How much Underdark is there?
Quite a lot from what I would assume.
Okay, right, look.
Silly of
I'm
you.
sorry, but in my defense, okay,
Can I have coffee whilst?
I'm making us all. I do not. If you want milk, you're on your own, but I will make you all a black coffee.
I was latte.
I don't care what you want.
I'm guessing.
I already gave you some socks.
Why can't I have a latte?
I don't do milk.
I'm gonna go search for some milk in the kitchen.
Okay, whatever. Well, as you guys all know, I'm sure Jeoral, have you told them about how he came to be in the introduction? Why don't you tell him that? Why don't you tell them that story, Karul?
You only have almond milk.
And I make it myself. Do you have a
Can you
problem?
milk the almonds?
No, the way you make almond milk is, you know what? I'll show you later. I'm trying to tell a story.
Okay. I'll
Basically-
have the almond milk jar. Try that.
When Jeoral and I had our child, it was in a time when I was very occupied with raising Ulster, and I just didn't have the time to commit to both. So I was like, well, I'm going to commit to this one. And they pointed to Ulster. And so I'll raise him, and you raise our kid, pointing at Jeoral, who was also frothing at the mouth.
It's really upset.
And now the issue is that Jeoral, for a very long time, was also my personal assassin. And there was a sort of thing that happened, which was the more care he gave to Valis, the less good he became at being, because he was getting tired. He was getting very thin, very sickly. Ulster, I had a world to take over. I was not going to pause for 9 months of shared paternity leave.
Well, maybe you should have thought about having a kid.
First of all, my relationship is none of your business. Second of
Well,
all,
it kind of is because you tried to raise me, so I'm going to judge you for your poor parenting choices.
okay, well, some people want children just to see if they can possibly even fall in love with another person,
Well,
and I could,
that
apparently.
seems really, really unhealthy.
The gods didn't think so, they gave him to us.
Yeah, I wonder which god took pity on you.
I'm gonna move towards Jeoral and sort of like, if he's frothing at the mouth, I guess like even though I'm a guest, I would offer him a seat and then sit beside if he does.
He takes a seat and just sinks down and is like, and Karul's like, well, yeah, I mean, he sounded like that every day, couldn't sneak up on anyone, so I thought it'd be best to just send Valis away.
Oh.
So I sent him on a mission, sent Valis away, and done deal. And then he hated that.
I'm surprised he didn't stab you.
He did, actually, or tried to.
Oh.
But I was much more powerful than him by this point. We started out roughly the same kind of level, and I just kept getting better.
Not anymore. Now you make coffee and complain about socks.
Look, in my own home, I can do whatever I want, and I'm not going to be judged for that. So I apologise.
I pour almond milk in my coffee.
Joral,
I
that
don't know
sounds
why
really
I'm telling
hard.
any of you any of this. I don't owe you anything. You guys came here for an entirely different reason.
You owe me quite a lot.
Yeah, okay, well, you can ask me questions later pertaining to your situation. But look, fact of the matter is, yes, I sent Valis away. No, I didn't give Joral a chance to say goodbye. No, I didn't consult him on it. No,
Jail.
I didn't keep tabs on exactly where he went, but I knew who he was with and is still most likely with.
Joel, are you sure you want to marry him?
Unfortunately, I'm deeply in love with him.
He looks at Karul. I don't get it.
No.
What is the piece of information that you do have? The person who Valis is likely with.
Okay. So, there is a group called the Sisterhood. They're a child trafficking ring.
Yes.
And I paid them to hold on to him for us.
At any point, did you just stop and think maybe not a good idea?
I thought it might be good to raise a connection in that ring, just in case you fell through.
I fell through.
Well, Valis was my backup, and if something bad happened with you, I didn't actually quite look. I'll be honest.
Kids aren't business proposals. Cool.
But they do help you get what you want from other people sometimes.
I hate you.
Look, I'll be really honest. Looking back, it does seem a bit silly. And I do think I regret it. I think I probably should have sent him to like daycare or something. Sorry, guys. There's only so much I can do.
I mean, at least you recognize, it seems, a lot of the harm you've done, whether or not, well, that's between you and Joral. Okay.
Joral stops you and says, "Don't try and justify it. I don't understand it. Please, just do what you got to do."
At least you're forthcoming with the state of mind you were in.
Oh,
Which was bonkers.
yeah, okay. Joral and I have had a lot of conversations about this. Do you remember that really beautiful stone I gave you?
Yes.
Okay. The truth is actually that I think that was making me go mad. So the more
It was also sapping my life force.
Yeah.
To do so.
Okay. Well, I don't want it back.
No.
At this point, because I've realised I'm kind of removed from that.
Uh-huh.
I don't really feel the desire that I once had for power. That I think I got a bit of an ego.
A bit of an ego.
Sue me. But no, I'm not really feeling that now, and I don't want that back. So keep it. You're welcome. I don't know, use it, make some pretty magic.
You're welcome.
It's a gift. I gave it to you. Sorry, I'm being awful, aren't I?
Yeah, you're incorrigible.
Okay, so what would you prefer from me?
You're going to show us everything in your office.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yeah, okay.
and in exchange for your continued help, he looks at Joel, they'll help you find your son.
That sounds good, actually, because I really do need the help at the moment. Geography doesn't work well with what's going on up here. But I can make coffee.
You can make coffee. Wow.
I'm actually thinking of starting a business.
Do that.
I've taken a loan.
Why did you need to take a loan?
Why would I use any of my own personal money on a financial venture? It makes far more sense to put capital from other investors into my business.
I don't get it.
Well, basically, I'm using other people's money to fund my venture. And that means that first of all, I give up none of my own capital, but I can take a portion of the profits.
You're speaking commerce. I don't get it.
Okay.
Right, everyone enjoy your coffee.
You guys can head through to the office if you wish to. He's so tired. Every time I move him, he just tucks his little head back. It's really quite cute, actually. I don't know why he's chosen to be here. Maybe I should just consume him.
Consume him.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm pregnant now
With Lala.
with Lala.
Very active baby.
Mm.
I hope this doesn't cause psychic damage, but what's Marlena doing during this?
Marlena is sitting on the stone kind of like sill by the window, looking out like this. How am I going to get home?
Fuck.
Wait. No, I know how I'm getting home. We're going to teleport home, right?
Yes,
Right.
at some
Sorry.
point, yes.
I'm having a bit of brain fog, to be honest. Right. And she stands up. Everything's fine.
It is. Karul, you're going to fix her. You did that. Hello, Lala.
He's making really loud purring noises.
He sounds like a fan.
Oh, what are you doing? Did you hear that? Can you hear him? You can hear him. That's so funny.
He's so funny. He sounds like a fan.
He does. Righty. He's kind of quieted down a bit now. It looks like I'm rubbing my titties. It's Lala. Low titties.
He's so precious.
That's his bum.
Oh my god. This is genuinely just what he does. Okay, so
true.
not a lap cat. Wrong. Okay, so you guys will make your way into the next sort of area of the house, which is a long sort of corridor lined with a few different doors. And I think that considering it's his study, Karul will put all of the coffees that he's made on a tray. We'll pass that to Sarah's own door. Carry that. Okay, fine. All right.
One with milk in it.
Anyway, he'll lead you down the corridor and say, Jeoral, we're going to have a chat about oversharing, but mostly on my end, actually, I think. And Jeoral's like, yep, just leave, please, for now. Right. Okay,
Thanks for the socks, Jeoral.
Yes, whatever. And Karul kind of carries on and just says, I think we're really on our way, me and him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things were admittedly better in the past.
Do you think maybe it was mostly your fault?
Look, he could have put more effort into... Yeah, so it probably was me. But he stuck by me.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that.
You've done a lot of bad things.
Yeah. No, excuse me. I'm going to go one more time. I feel bad for those things.
That's good. What are you going to do about it?
What do you mean?
As in, we have my cousin who is very sick. So we're going to need you to
You have another blood relative? No.
Second cousin.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
none of them related to my dad, so.
Well, I was thinking about potentially finding Valis. That would be a good way to sort of restore happiness.
Yes, what about the entire country you infected?
Right.
Yep.
Look, you have to understand this was one of the very early stages on my way to much more devastating horrors. So I actually think if you were to go through my notes, which I'm just going to warn you,
how disturbing are they?
They're quite disturbing,
including the box plans that you were going to put me in.
Well, Jeoral burned those.
Oh, good.
Actually,
Good.
he was going on a bit of a spree and I stopped him, thankfully. So hopefully there'll be enough stuff for you.
Uh-huh.
But all I'm going to say is I had much more worse in store, and I've done much worse than what I've done to a prayer. So I think, all things considered,
You should be in jail.
no, we're in a pretty good situation. As for your cousin, I'm sure there's something in there.
Yes, you're going to help us find it.
I'm going to... no.
Yes.
Right, yeah. Okay. Make a persuasion check just to...
With
satisfy
advantage,
me.
I think. He's
Can,
come on.
Just to satisfy
Can
Dungeons and
Bluey,
Dragons.
can Sparks help me so I can get advantage?
yes, I would like to help in this.
We both just fold our arms and stare at him.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's in the womb.
give me a second.
That's where he wants to be.
15, 17.
17. With Bluey's help, you guys fold your arms like, I am pregnant. And he says, excuse me. Right, yeah, okay. So tell me exactly what you want from me.
Sparks, do you want to take this one?
We would like as much information as possible, I believe, on the origin of the disease affecting prayans. I guess like clarity on its nature and how it spreads.
Okay.
We would like to see any notes on antidotes or cures. I think we would like confirmation of all parties involved in the spread of this through potions or otherwise. And
Okay, I can answer
Yes.
some of these questions by pointing you in a very specific direction.
mhm.
And he opens the door. Inside the study, you guys see a large mahogany wood desk with a wing-backed chair in a sort of like a warm, almost black, dark brown leather. There is a set of fine quills. They're standing upright in holders along the far edge. There are inkwells. Most of them are full, but one is sort of on its way to being empty. And you see lining all the sides of this room are more and more bookshelves. These shelves, however, are not filled with...
So you're just like, ooh.
These aren't filled with classic kind of tomes you'd find in any shop. These are all handwritten journals, it seems. And Karul says, look, I'm making my way through these.
Huh.
I can't promise I know everything.
I go right to the beginning of the journals and pick out the earliest one.
Okay, you pick out the earliest one.
I want to know what he was thinking in his early days.
Okay.
Have you started to create like some sort of index, or is it?
It's what
is
I'm
it a
working
mental?
on at
Okay,
this
right.
moment. Again, like I said, there are holes thanks to Jeoral, but mostly...
He would have gotten rid of most of the information about me, I'm guessing.
well, it doesn't all start with you, unfortunately.
No, you're wrong. It starts and ends with me.
You open the journal, and
In my 27 years of life, when most of you are over a century old, it starts and ends with me, of course.
the first journal actually is part of a set of about 7, which seem to be bound.
Do they say Dear Diary?
No, these aren't childhood. These actually appear to be
I'm saying childhood.
almost like
I was saying adult Dear Diary.
Dear Diary. No, these actually appear to be volumes in a thesis, which have all been bound in a very specific kind of like bluish purple hue.
What's the thesis?
This is my writings to support my research when I lived in the Feywild.
What's the thesis?
The thesis. Well, it was rather bold for what my clan were interested in. The suggestion that rare materials can reawaken rarer forms of magic. And obviously, in order to test my theory, I needed a lot of trust from my clan, as I would be working with some of the, as Phil mentioned, rarest materials in the known Feywild. Some of these were permissible, and some of these weren't. Unfortunately, the ones which I was allowed to handle were not the ones which interested me the most. So, all in all, it's a bit of dribble, really. Never really proved anything.
I pass it to Loran.
Loran kind of flips through and reads down and just says, wait, I did learn this at the High Solarian, actually, this one. Some of your work made it in there. And Karul goes, I hope they credited me.
Oh no, your computer died? Frozen? It is very weird to see you reacting to it. Also, if you're saying stuff you want us to hear, then Lily, you'll have to unmute. You're just relaxing with a little cat there. Oh. A pregnancy photo shoot.
No, it's a pop.
Ah, you're back, it seems. Your
Okay,
computer's back.
Can I have a cuddle?
Hang on, yeah. This is really quite difficult. Don't lift it up because my boobies are out.
Oh no, your computer hung up. And now it's back.
Okay. There's Lala. So, as Loran is flipping through those,
Proud of my child.
Karul says, that is where it began for me, I suppose. Obviously, I was a student of magic my whole life. From one of the finest families. And through them I was able to prove my worth. Honestly.
Let's reword that last bit.
In spite of their pushback, I was able to prove my theories were correct.
Well, cool.
What?
You know what? We don't have time to unpack all of the issues, but
you want help with the prey and stuff? Look over in that section, and he points to a sort of a shelf, which seems to be like on the further side of the wall rather than the closer side to you, suggesting a chronological order.
How about we grab a stack and we all read?
Okay, I would like everybody to maybe investigation checks then, please.
I'd love to, with permission, grab one of the quills and some spare parchment to write down scratchy notes.
Okay, you can do some note taking for sure. Slayer, natural 20, and Sparks.
I got an 18.
18!
Nice.
Yay! What's your total, Ulster?
Oh, total.
I'm just curious.
23.
23, nice.
Wow. Nice.
19, sorry.
Oh, okay, cool. You guys are all looking in the right places. We'll start with Sparks.
Oh, sorry.
Sparks, I think you first come across a ledger. This ledger seems to have no Lala.
Lala.
No more.
He loves you.
He does love me.
Lala.
This ledger seems to have more to do with Valis than it does to do with the Apraean issue. I think that you probably stumbled across this. The interesting sort of thing that happens when you get a good investigation roll, but not perfect. Do you find nothing, or do you find something else you were looking for, but you don't realize you were looking for? In this case, you find a ledger which seems to pertain to an agreement between the Sisterhood and Valis's parents, Karul and Jeoral.
We should keep that for Jeoral's reference.
Yep. Which seems to show a commitment to servitude for Valis for a number of years, until he is of age, and of age in this document has been defined as 13. At which point he will be brought back into the family unit.
Okay. Thank you. Brought back, does it say like unharmed or...
Yes, yeah.
All right. Or at least alive and cognizant, perhaps.
This ledger is interesting in its construction, as it recounts monthly payments that were sent to an individual in the Sisterhood, and her name, is Mercy.
Mercy. How do you spell it?
Like Mercy, the word.
So
We
payments
don't
to
know much
Mercy.
about her, except that Karul, in his own hand, has written some very brief notes, which are so brief. It just says DW 157.
What?
DW. So I write that D better. DW 157.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Karul, what does DW 157 mean?
No fucking clue.
157.
Are these journals numbered and perhaps in sections that
You
journal
kind of
number
follow that
157?
through with your initial check, and you don't find anything. Before we get too wrapped up in that mystery, I just want to also introduce what you guys find.
Mm-hmm.
Sleia, I think that you would be able to find something interesting is a historiography of a prayer that's been hand annotated by Karul. And there are a few recurring notes which correlate to the sort of recurring sections. And the idea you draw from this is that Karul seems to have an intense interest in the dragon plague, specifically its final frontier, which took place at Apraea. There seems to be a suggestion that the type of material that Karul was needing to sort of use as the basis for his world restructuring or world takeover would be found in abundance in Apraea. The only thing you can't figure out is where exactly, based off of this. Yeah, Paynite. Based off of this. Whether that is a source he has been able to mine, or whether that's a source that he's still looking for, you are unsure of. The only thing that you find interesting is that there is a suggestion on the final page that's been torn out of a different notebook and slid in here over a map of Eldrelith's Watch, which exists in this sort of book that he's kind of compiled together himself from lots of different historiographies, atlases, and it all seems to point to the suggestion that the thieves' tunnels, which Bluey, you've been to briefly, the network kind of run by the Thieves Guild, is actually, obviously, well known by the royal family and actually sanctioned by the royal family. The sort of quite common thing that happens in that they allow a certain amount of deviance from the law to prevent full-fledged anarchy from sowing in the underbelly of its country, Aprea. And with that suggestion, Karul has mapped out additions to these tunnels, which lead straight underneath the palace of Eldrith's Watch, starting in the Keep of Words in Ironstone.
Okay.
So a tunnel system which leads from there, hello darling, all the way into Eldrith's Watch. So it spans beneath the Green Sea, supposedly, which would take it through the Underdark. So you get the impression that if
Sorry, what was the
Karul,
place called in Einstein?
the Keep of Words, you've been there plenty of times.
Yeah.
And you actually you've been in the entrance to these tunnels, you think?
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, love. Oh, you're so obsessed with mommy tonight.
Lovely, la la la. Does that make sense, what I just said? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. So, that's that. Ulster. All of this sitting in your mind, kind of swirling around there. The Underdark, the tunnels, Eldrith's Watch, the Dragon Plague, and something kind of comes to your mind, which is, of course, is Karul exploiting issues that already existed in Aprea, or is he the progenitor for all of those issues? And you err on the side of exploiting, seems more Karul's style, from knowing him personally. And
I don't create problems, I exploit them.
knowing the people who have been taking the brunt of this horror are the Temple of Bahamut in the north. They are a bastion of Bahamut. Though the country is run on equal footing with the both religions and with respect to smaller religions, the fact that the Temple of Bahamut is by nature in the north obviously offsets the power that is in the south, which would be the Temple of Tiamat, being closer to the royal state, closer to the capital city, has a little more influence. And you kind of scroll through all of Karul's notes as you're finding them over about an hour, and listening to his words, the way he talks about it, and the comments he occasionally makes leaning over you as he kind of like assists you guys, pointing you in the right directions, making offhand remarks. You kind of get a strange feeling, and you realize you already know the answer to this riddle. This is something that you've seen before. You know what's waiting for you in Eldrith's Watch. And thanks to this research, you can hide your knowledge behind Karul's words. No one will know that you already know this. You can tell them everything if you want to. And
Oh, guys, did our proficiency bonus increase?
I don't know, did it?
My modifiers and saving throws look larger.
I honestly can't remember whenever they increase.
So I might need Emma to correct me if I say anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is information that, yes, Ulster does know, but I want to make sure that it's been communicated in a clear way. So Ulster kind of lays out all of the notes that he's found, and he looks at the map, he looks at the different information we've got. Okay. So, you, he points at Karul, were interested in the dragon plague.
Yes. Mostly I just don't believe that every single dragon has been eradicated from this world. And if they haven't been, then they could be a source. They are primordials by nature. They could be a source of painite, and if they are, the rare resource I desperately want to get my hand on, there's nothing wrong with me farming them, is there?
It makes sense that you would look to different primordials for sources of power, such as the dragon, such as myself and my father. He gives him a dirty look. If there was a body in Eldraleth, he kind of circles Eldraleth. That could be a resource for you to find painite, primordial body.
Is this something that Sparks kind of detected? Some sort of connection to dragon, like at the wall of the city, which was just the dragon's body? Was that?
Yes. Okay, so are you thinking of Eldraleth, the dragon?
Yes.
Yes. To which Loran and Saraza, well, I think Loran, because he lived there, he would say, the dragon's stone. It's just petrified now. There's nothing of it left.
That wasn't the only dragon in the dragon plague, though, was it?
Well, no, but...
Well, you know what happens to bodies. Well, let me... he kind of draws layers on, like, to show different layers of the earth. Over time, there might be bodies encased beneath the earth. If the dragons were killed or banished, some of them would have fallen from the sky. So it makes sense that there would be bodies to find, to farm. If Karul had located one.
I had located one. You're right. And he goes over to his journals and pulls open one of them, one of the ones that is quite close to the end. And he sighs, he just says, "Oh, Jeoral."
What?
And he opens up the journal and you just see torn pages and like a smuttering of ash.
Why would he have gotten rid of that?
I don't know.
Can I roll an intelligence or an insight check?
Yep.
It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. $22.
Okay. It's so this is information that you didn't have or haven't had before. I'm going to just say that as a character, you know, as a person in this world, who's seen what you've seen, you know that different types of painite, different colours, are different rarities. If Karul was to find the right kind of painite that he wanted to use, then there is no reason for him to leave a trace for someone else to find, especially as he's working with so many other rogue.
So it looks like Jeoral has destroyed information on painite.
Yeah. Which does... Karul just says he was destroying anything that led to conclusions about what I wanted to do with you. Honestly.
I know what you want to do with me. We're never going to talk about it.
Nope.
So
if you do ever want some sick stones embedded in your chest,
I really don't. Okay.
yeah, just checking. Anyway, just checking. But no, this would make sense for me. I don't. I work with questionable individuals, so keeping the knowledge up here was occasionally a necessity, and now it's a privilege I don't have.
No, and you never will again. So you were farming
Painite.
dragon's body.
Yes.
Right. Dragons have souls, spirits, in the same way that when you bring undead back, you're sometimes reanimating with or without the soul. It kind of depends on what kind of undead you get.
Right? Yes, that's true. And I suppose.
Okay, this dragon, he points at the layer that he circled, has a soul.
An orb, correct?
Yeah, kind of like that. I'm trying to think how to organically convey this information.
An orb? A soul can be an orb?
Do you remember the dragon orb that
Oh, I do, yes.
Yeah.
But in character, a soul is an orb? What? Do we all have orbs?
No, it's a bit... you know what? Forget the orb for now. That will come up later, I'm sure. No, but living creatures, sentient creatures have souls, right? Even ones that are long dead. And if you disturb creatures that are long dead, you might awaken something. And if that soul were to, say, take control of a person who was very much tied to the spirit of the country, the core of the country, and that soul was of an undead creature...
Sarasa says, you think chorus.
I don't think chorus. I think someone close to chorus.
Wait, the body is undead?
Well, on the way to being. But if it's someone close to him, that only leaves the queens or his close advisors, of which I know for a fact most are still trapped in Eldrith. I don't see anyone masterminding this.
We haven't been able to contact.
Sorry, did also say the soul can take control of an undead body? Only?
Soul can take control of a body. But
Of
it's
a body,
it's
like a
spirit.
possession.
Yeah.
The soul, it could be, if it's a spirit or if it's undead, it doesn't.
Oh, dead
matter.
body. A body that... does that imply the body, the soul is elsewhere, kind of thing?
So
Or
Don't. Let's not overcomplicate it. I'll just say,
okay.
If you disturb a grave, you might make a ghost.
there's
Same
a body,
as there's a body. It has
a
been
dragon.
farmed. There's no reason to believe that you couldn't have released the spirit of this dragon.
And the spirit of the dragon is incredibly powerful.
Yep.
Which would make sense why it would disseminate throughout the country. If you spread pieces of the body, the soul would reach out to the body.
Mm. So,
Oh.
yeah, okay, hang on a sec. Karul just says,
Are we talking? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, okay. I'm getting a bit of clarity. Right, he sits down at his desk and he pulls out a piece of paper and he says,
You fed them dragon body.
okay, well maybe I don't need to make a diagram.
No, go ahead, make a diagram. Also begins drawing a dragon and then he draws a knife and fork next to it and puts it on the table. Is it better than mine?
So
Let's say we have a beehive, right? There's the queen bee, and then there are the worker bees. The worker bees live to sustain the queen, right? To keep the hive alive. Right now, Eldrith is the hive. The queen is the queen. And everyone else who's infected right now is working to make sure that her influence, her goals spread, whatever that is. Now, I'll tell you who I'm working with, or was until recently. Church of Tiamat. Big no. They are. They obviously have reason to want a corrupted evil dragon in power.
Well, this dragon was probably a supporter of Tiamat.
And in all honesty, I saw that as a good thing, because I thought if I start where the power is already unstable, like I did in Kalkan, I could begin to sow the seeds, my own seeds of chaos. I meant,
too many pies.
well, if I'm using my own analogy, I meant to mislead everyone into thinking all these separate places had separate queens and separate workers, when in reality they were all my workers and I was the center of the hive.
But you're not the dead body. What?
No.
No. Let me explain, okay? I might say to you, Bluey, go steal some gold from that guy, okay? And whilst you're stealing the gold from that guy, I might steal something from you. You was never the real target. You were, right? In the same way, the queen may feel like it doesn't matter, I'm complicating this. What I'm saying is I was truly the mastermind all along. Nobody would notice because I was pointing in a different direction. World chaos
Okay, but
also makes everything burn.
how does this dragon souls are very powerful, as before mentioned. How do you stay in control and this does not become a Draco Lich type of situation?
I control the Painite. I control the world.
Painite makes you a god.
There is not the dragon, its body became the power. And if you can pull the soul from the body and sever that connection, if you can convince the Church of Tiamat it's a good idea to take the soul of a dragon and put it in the queen, without telling them the body has much more concentrated power, then that leaves what you really want completely unprotected. So no, I never cared really about the dragons or the plague. In fact, it's probably a good thing that it happened.
Fuel.
And they aren't the only ones.
We literally created fossil fuels in this country, guys.
We
No, I had a question. Shit, what was it? What was the question that I was going to ask?
Do you want me to summarize it and you can correct me if it's wrong?
Yeah.
I'll do this for everyone. So from my understanding, there is a dragon's body that fell during the dragon plague. It's not Eldralith. It's a different dragon that is interred somewhere under Eldralith.
Mhm.
Karul found the body. He understands that the body, the fossil, when broken up, is painite. It's a painite deposit.
Yeah.
That is what painite is. It is the bones of primordials. It forms a stone as it becomes a fossil. So he
Under
has
pressure, you know.
under pressure, yeah. He broke up parts of the body and disseminated it in the form of a potion.
Yeah.
At the same time, the soul of the dead fossil dragon was placed within the queen of the country. As the fossil was disseminated throughout the country, the body and the soul's influence spread like a plague.
Yeah.
But it's all coming from Eldralith. That's where it's most strongly concentrated by the spirit and the body in one place.
Yep.
But as the pieces of the body are spread throughout the country, so the influence of the soul spreads.
Yep.
Okay.
And of course, if this is all being done by the Church of Tiamat,
It's for Tiamat.
it's for Tiamat's gain, hence why the Temple of Bahamut is the worst hit.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Surely, if the Church of Tiamat knew that... Okay, I'm not a dragon's soul rendered from its body, but I would imagine that if I was, I would be feeling quite upset with having my body used as magical fuel. And I would wonder why the Church of the Dragon that I aligned with would not notice this and not have a concern about it.
Are you suggesting why doesn't the Temple of Bahamut realize what's going on?
Temple of Tiamat.
Tiamat.
I'm suggesting, would they know that having the soul come out of the dead body and put into the queen means that the soul is being rendered from the body?
Understand.
And why would they be okay with that if they do understand it?
For sure. I think Karul goes back to those very first tomes
Chaos, I guess.
that Allstem pulled out. And he says, I sometimes wonder whether it was a blessing or a curse that my research was never given the time of day, never funded properly by my own family, and that I was never allowed access to the resources.
Sub-story, get to the point.
I had, in this very thesis, declared to all, or at least suggested, this very plan. That if you were to come across such a body, such a creature, that you could rip the soul out and use what was left. But you have to understand, this was written in the Feywild, where the oldest things you could possibly imagine are still living.
They don't tend to die a lot in the Feywild, do they?
And those that have are relics beyond imagining. They are the foundation points of some cultures. And to suggest that I would tear the soul from those and use them was a taboo that most would not feel comfortable approaching. They are dead, Ulster. They do not need it anymore.
Their souls are still...
The souls feed the Feywild. They can just be put into different vessels.
You have no respect.
I have no respect for rot.
What is part of life?
It doesn't matter anyway. Like I said, that research, unpublished, untested, unknown. And you need, in order to make all of this work, I'm surprised that the Dehane hasn't told you, you need someone with my kind of skill set in order to take that essence and move it, transform it, turn it into something else. It is not something that can be done by mortals. It is only something that can be done by blood that recognizes age. Centuries worth of knowledge. And a distinct link to the natural world. Me.
I think
You.
also takes his journal and smacks Karul on the chest.
Ow! What the fuck?
And Penta.
Okay. Well, me, like I said, and Loran likely would be suitable for this task, but perhaps only him now, considering what I've been reduced to.
So you're saying because you're old and material, that's part of what makes you able to...
There are certain magics only accessible to Fae. There is certain knowledge only known by myself.
She called you old.
I'm not old. I am... Sure.
Didn't you say you have to be to move souls?
Oh, right. Look, let me explain. When the Yes, okay, old. Yes, that's fine.
Not like us Sparks.
What I'm saying, Sparks, is a culture which has no knowledge of my magic, the style of magic that we do, and yet also has no reason to believe there are test subjects to try this on, or there is even a basis for ripping souls out of dragons when there are no dragons left in existence, would have no reason to believe that when I suggest freeing the dragon of its mouldering corpse, that I have any ulterior motives. There you are. Take the rest up with Clara.
Of course, it was bloody Clara. I knew we should have killed her.
Well, it was more Askarak. He is the leader. But Clara was the last one I received a letter from before this all went down. But only 3 weeks ago. It seemed that she had turned to Tiamat, rather in secret.
Wait, she was working directly with you, but then became
No,
more
no.
closely?
I never met her.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
She was very annoying.
I think
Asking her to know us.
Karul kind of takes a step up and just says, feel free to learn more, read, but I think you've got what you came for. No, there is no cure, but you have your direction.
Do we have any way to temper the effects on living people?
Painite detox?
We have a piece
There
of
are
painite.
ways.
We have a piece of painite, not from the dragon.
The one I gave you.
Yeah.
You could use that, give it to a cleric and use it to heal. That is obviously a risk. You might think that you're healing them and deal them so much healing that they cannot take it and the body explodes. I've seen it happen.
That's what the start of what healing Picataro looks like from Alabec. Is that kind of what, or
No, that was less.
No?
Less so.
Okay.
That was just more the infection fighting back.
Right,
What Karul is suggesting is that you could heal someone to death using painite.
But
Can I pull out the piece of like crystallized healing?
Mhm.
Would something like this be useful?
He picks that up and looks at it. Well, intriguing. Why did you come by this?
I mean, it's partly my magic and someone concentrated it in a way.
He runs his finger across it. No, you couldn't. Couldn't use this for healing. Did I hear you say that your clerical domain was less to do with that anyway? No, this is more what I would use for scrying. Do you have an aspect of the divine about you?
I do.
Oh. I might have a scroll somewhere of use. I'm intrigued to see how these two items would interact.
do you expect a dangerous outcome from it?
No. Though that depends on your definition of dangerous.
For the
Intriguing.
people in this room, physically and mentally, I guess, yes.
I wouldn't do this now, though, because we need to wrap up the game.
Okay. I have one more question for him, if that's
Yes,
all right.
of course.
Allstar will kind of, knowing that Sleer does not specialize in healing, will say, if you attuned me to the Painite. What was that face?
Yeah, this is Karul.
You attuned me to the Painite. Right. I'm just not going to look at you. If I were to heal Marlena, do you think that would work? I would be able to use it the best out of anyone here.
I think this would be best put in the hands of a cleric.
We don't have a cleric who's attuned to Painite. I'm a healer.
I only say this because, yes, you are attuned, but you are so attuned. If anyone is going to unlock that full, most vicious power, it would be you.
We need to do something for her.
He's suggesting a relative newbie to Painite handling.
But then who knows what it will do to them?
Let me think. I'll try and make a plan for you.
That's fine, because we're going to stay here until this evening anyway.
Lovely. I'll make dinner. And
Might also visit my father. Anyway.
no.
No.
Yes. Wait, no. Karul says yes. He should do it. Is he not a cleric?
Who? Sorry?
Your
My
father?
Oh,
Even closer in primordial line than you. Yes, bring him to me, and he can do it.
You won't be able to touch him, just so you know.
I can stand in a different room.
I don't think
But
we should.
He comes up to you and he takes your hands and he says,
Don't touch me.
picks up his journal from the thesis
Well,
and holds it out to you. My work into fruition. I don't want, I promise, what I wanted previously.
mm-hmm.
But you could bridge this one little gap.
He'll take the book. Yes, well, that will be if my father doesn't decide to kill me first.
Well,
Is this
I have
father
very
the
persuasive
only?
means.
He hates you too.
Jeoral has very persuasive means.
Doesn't know.
Exactly.
Maybe Lauren should go stand in the other room with you too.
Okay.
If you're thinking
Think on
about
it.
threatening as persuasion, then I don't think I
No
want
one can threaten my
necessarily.
father. No
Okay,
one.
yeah.
But if one of you is a paladin of Bahamut, if one of you is a cleric who does not heal, and if one of you is a druid who is so attuned to Painite it could cause Marlena to explode, then I would perhaps suggest the cleric, who is already closer in blood to what you need. And maybe, just maybe, he won't even need to use the Painite. But if he does, I'm really curious to see exactly how that goes. Anna?
What if
And we're going to wrap up
all,
after this question because I need to
all
go to
three of us try at the same time?
I think that would make her explode.
Just a thought, we
You're being
each have like
experiment.
smidgens.
No, she's not an experiment. People aren't experiments.
Right. I think that's a very good spot
I'll say yells at
to
him.
leave the game for tonight.
People aren't
Okay.
By joking, you stumbled on a really interesting idea.
Yeah.
Neat.
Potential idea. When Rolmy turns up to smack Ulster.
We can kidnap him instead. and uses magic radio guys. Deliver us. Send a shepherd to shepherd
When he inevitably turns
us.
up to kill Ren.
Deliver us from the promised Baz. And are you just going to sit back down? Yeah, that's what I thought.